What's good, guys? It's Mike, aka BuzzLiar here. Gonna bring you some gameplay of the new Spec Ops map, Vertigo. Now this is just a real quick tutorial on how you can actually beat this level unhardened. It's not the hardest thing in the world, but it does get a little harder once you get off this rooftop. But your main goal in this actual mission is to shoot down these helicopters, kill all the guys, hold the rooftop down, and then when you're done, you're actually parachute down to the very bottom of the streets, and you're supposed to proceed forward and take out an army of fucking men. This was actually pretty legit. I had a lot of fun playing this. So as you saw, I just shot down those 4 helicopters. There's not a real big time limit on that. You just gotta shoot them down. I chose to shoot one rocket about 2 or 3 seconds after the other, and then after that, you just kind of lock onto the helicopters and do your thing. As soon as you're done doing that, you're going to turn around and you're going to have the G36C in your hand. I personally like to use the G36. There's a few other weapons around the area that you can pick up, but I like to use this weapon because it just seems to be the most powerful, the most accurate for what they're giving you. You get a PKP or a P90, but for the most part, I think the G36C is probably the best for this situation. So what you're seeing right now is actually the way or the style that I chose to play this map because I found it to be the most efficient. I stayed in the middle, left, and right boxes. I didn't push too far forward unless a grenade was thrown at me. They didn't give me much of a choice, and then I just kept killing these guys from a distance. One thing you're going to have to do is, as you're killing these guys, there's going to be an occasional helicopter that's either going to drop off guys or a juggernaut, and you're going to have to shoot it down. One thing I do really want to recommend when you're shooting them down is to save your missiles, because I think that there's a way that you can use them again once you jump off the building. Your next setup, you're going to either want to set up the right or left side with claymores. I choose the right side because it seems like there's more guys that come from the right, but it doesn't really make a difference, I guess, depending on what side you want to watch. Personally, I think the best time to place your claymores is right after you shoot down that first helicopter, because you get a little bit of a play time to put things down before guys start coming back at you. One other thing, just a second ago, you saw a guy shoot a rocket at me. You gotta be real careful with him. There's been a few times where he actually hit me spot on with that thing, and times he completely misses. So when he hits you spot on, definitely take cover. That thing fucks you up. And believe me, dying 2 minutes into this Spec Ops mission can get real tedious. Next thing, this juggernaut. I shot him down pretty quick. It's not the easiest thing to do, but it's not the hardest thing to do. The one thing I want to recommend, if for whatever reason you're having a hard time with it, just wait till it actually gets close to landing on the helipad itself, because at that point you can actually just shoot it real quick, lock on, and do your thing. Outside of that, the first half of this mission really isn't all that hard. As long as you stay back, you take cover, you shoot these guys from a distance, you're able to take out these helicopters that come at you from occasion. This part of the map is extremely simple. The hard part of this, especially on veteran or hardened or whatever you want to call it, that's where it gets really tough, especially when you get down to the bottom because you're taking a lot of cover. There's a spot where dogs come at you, the helicopters are shooting at you so you can't stay in the middle of the road. There's a bunch of stuff coming at you. The only thing you gotta really worry about here is maybe the occasional guy getting a few lucky bullets into you, or maybe a random grenade thrown at you and you've got to toss it back or get away from that grenade. So yeah, once you shoot this helicopter down, that's pretty much the end of this particular spot. You get a care package dropped down. You'll see me grab it here after I get done killing this guy. But you're going to see it drop down, and you're going to go ahead and pick up this care package, and that's when you jump off the roof. Personally, what I found to be the best is to keep your missiles, because once you jump down, you'll see what. I was picking up the P90 at first, using that and reloading the G36C 100%. For some reason in this particular gameplay, I don't know what happened, but I ran out of G36C ammo. So it really sucked when I got down to the bottom because I'm scurrying around trying to find a fucking gun and I can't. I ran into a Spaz 12 of all things, and it was the biggest piece of shit that I could have ever ran into. I got lucky enough and picked up an AK, but that still really fucking sucks, so make sure you're better prepared than I was. Look at this. Right here is the perfect example of why you want to keep that, because you can shoot down those first 2 helicopters that carry 6 to 10 guys each, or some bullshit like that. They totally fuck your world up, and it's much easier to keep them and shoot them down as opposed to not. One thing I do want to mention real quick is the fact that when I shot those first 2 helicopters down, I found that I was able to push further forward a lot faster than if I didn't. So keep that in mind. If you're not going to shoot them down, you're going to stay further back. You're not going to complete the thing as fast as you might want to. If you don't mind not completing it as fast, that's completely fine. Otherwise, if you shoot them down, you'll be able to push forward a little further. One other thing is be careful of the dogs that you might have seen me kill. That was the hardest time I had killing the dogs, and all the times I played, they ended up coming from both sides of me. I got lucky and was able to deal with those dogs that time, but just be careful when they happen to you. Try to stay far back and focus on the dogs before they come at you. One other thing that I might not have mentioned is the fact that you might want to save your flashbangs and grenades for this particular part of the map, because if you run out of ammo, which you'll see me shortly do, if you run out of ammo, it's best to throw a flashbang in the air so you can run forward real quick or like behind a wall and grab a gun so you can get something new to shoot with. Another big thing that you want to make sure you're paying attention to is these helicopters that are going to do flybys in the middle of the aisle. Look at this. That helicopter just sprays missiles through the middle of the street, so you got to be really, really careful of those missiles, because I've actually laid behind these big ass cinder blocks trying to take some cover from the guys, but if those helicopters come by and shoot those missiles, they'll fuck you up just as bad as the guys that are shooting you. So make sure you're trying to take most of your cover to the sides of the road, and then occasionally maybe in the middle of the street if you know that a helicopter's just gone by. Because like I said before, the last thing you want is to be 5 minutes into this game and fail your mission because a fucking rocket launcher from the helicopter hits you, you pop up, and a guy fucking shoots you once and you die. Other than that, you see right here, I got this fucking gay spaz. I was like, motherfucker, I didn't even know you could get a spaz. I just happened to run into it. Fortunately, I had this AK-47, and I was able to get these guys killed. I got really, really lucky that I had this. I got really, really lucky a few times in this part of the game. There's one time in the very end that I actually got where the green smoke was. I don't know what happened. You got to be very careful. I don't know where it came from or what happened, but you can see the green smoke now on the screen, partially anyways, and for some reason or another, I died. They had some like suicide bombers come at you. Actually, a few times they have suicide bombers come at you, and one of the times that they come at you is the very end, and for some reason I thought I got him killed, but I don't know, I was like maybe like 10 meters away or whatever you want to call it, and it killed me. One of the biggest things that actually is a huge contributor to the very end is this PKP. I think the fact that it's got a bunch of ammo and you can just spray down sight is really, really, really helpful. So make sure if you get the chance, make sure to pick it up. You know, while you're down on the ground. I found to pick it up on the roof was kind of hard. You end up running out of ammo. You're spraying down sight too much, and you end up losing. So, yeah, this is the end of the game. I ended up beating it. Mission completed. I got my 2 objectives, my 2 achievements, 3 stars. So if you liked the video, do me a real quick favor. Throw me a thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. If any of you guys would like to see the other Spec Ops mission, I think it's called Arctic Recon, just throw me a comment in the comment box below. I'll go ahead and get that going for you. Anyways, I'm Buzz Lightyear signing out. I hope you're all keeping it real. I'll talk to you soon. Peace!